Between client meetings, managing your business, and everyday tasks, who has time to worry about website hosting? With Kinsta's managed WordPress hosting, you don't have to. They handle the technical stuff, delivering lightning-fast load times, enterprise-grade security, and 24/7 365 human-only support. Simply switching to Kinsta could make your site up to 200% faster. Kinsta's custom dashboard makes managing sites easy, with powerful features designed to save you time and effort. Plus, their free expert-led migrations ensure a smooth transition. Ready to see why Kinsta is trusted by thousands of businesses? Get your first month free at kinsta.com. That's KINSTA.com. Kinsta. Simply better hosting.
All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to paint their door a vibrant shade of blue. Others have the need to decorate their bathroom with fish, anchors, and other nautical items. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.
This is Scoot from the Cleveland Sports Fan Network, here to tell you about our new lineup for the rest of 2021 and beyond. We still have your favorites like Oshimida and the Fan on Mondays, our flagship show, the Cleveland Sports Fan, on Tuesdays. Wednesday has the Burley Gunner Show. Thursday is the Four Chubs, a roundtable show hosted by Burley Gunner. And on Friday, Pit Road News, a NASCAR, F1, and IndyCar talk show hosted by Scoot, the Cleveland sports fan himself. New episodes every day at 6 a.m. Eastern. Visit us at redcircle.com/Cleveland-sport-fan.
Welcome to the law firm of Davis and Davis.
We're not a real law firm. Go ahead, grab a beer, a glass of wine, sit back and listen. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Davis and Davis.
It's Davis and Davis. Welcome.
A law firm that does nothing with law.
Yes.
Okay, so I was just explaining to Brother Burke. I was in Gatlinburg a couple of weeks ago, and I went to this place called the Tennessee Cider Company and proceeded to taste test everything they had. And I did this after the moonshine place where I was eating peaches that were soaked in moonshine. So I was feeling really no pain whatsoever. But I am drinking peach hard cider from the Tennessee Cider Company, and it is delectable. So delectable. I may actually spend $150 to drive back to Gatlinburg and buy another case.
Do they not sell this stuff online, perhaps? Or can you not have it?
You know, Texas is really funny about alcohol crossing its border.
Really?
Yeah, they're not too happy about, like,
are you saying that Smokey and the Bandit was actually a real thing about
it? The whole Texarkana thing is real.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, the pandemic has changed some of that, so I have not tried to purchase hard liquor or wine or anything like that over the internet yet, interweb. But I may have to attempt it with this whole cider company. I think I paid $60 for 3 bottles of cider, and I mean they're just regular 750.
They're like wine bottles, and they're not like single servings. Okay, no, I can live with that. Yeah, shit.
And then to top it off, I'm mixing it with Kona the Kona Brewing Company's Big Wave.
Oh my! I've actually heard of them before.
Good.
I have some bad news. I am not drinking any alcohol this evening. I'm giving my liver a little time off from the weekend.
Oh, wait. Let's think about what happened this weekend. This weekend was the Halloween party, was it not?
Why, yes, it was. and because I love Texas so much, I was drinking Deep Eddy vodka. They have a grapefruit vodka that is incredible, and a little grapefruit soda on top of that makes it a killer drink. And I finished the entire fifth that day. Sunday was recuperation day, a little bit into Monday, but yeah, it was a good time.
So
real good time.
So did Nancy lay next to you screaming really loud, knowing full well that you were in hangover mode?
Oh no, I don't even go home. When I did that party, I crashed there. And then it's about noon or 1 or something like that. And then when I sober up enough, I drive home and eat some food and take a nap and eat some food and take a nap. And yeah.
Okay. I am finding myself trying to lift up over the picture of you on the screen to figure out what university you are wearing. Oh gosh. Oh,
my daughter goes there. Come on, I gotta represent, man.
No, you are an Action Zoo guy. So wait, you're totally alcohol free. I don't know how I'm gonna do a show with you now.
Yeah, you just have to grin and bear it, my man. That's all. It's all good. I won't let it happen again, I promise.
So we each have a couple of topics to discuss here today.
Well, yeah. Or one could be one and one could be another day. Not quite sure.
I'm not sure how this is going to go yet.
They're both about Ohio, so that's a good thing. I mean, you've got listeners, I'm assuming, not from Ohio, or even if you are from Ohio, maybe stuff you don't know and might like to know.
Well, I think we have over 200 listeners, but that's over on the Cleveland Sports Fan channel. We have started a whole new channel here. So we will be cross-promoting, of course, but
of course, yes.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what our listeners do.
Okay, fair enough.
So what was the first thing on your mind?
Trivia, interesting facts, just, what makes Ohio a cool place to live. People say the weather sucks, but the flip side is we don't have scorpions.
No, the weather does not suck. The weather is fabulous. Yeah. Anything else? It's you have 4 seasons.
Most of the time. And this is one of the few years we've actually had, although it's kind of been weird. We've had 85-degree days in late October.
Oh, well,
which is really weird because I remember going trick-or-treating in snow. So you never know what you're going to get.
It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock here.
Yes.
And it's 85 degrees outside still.
Well, we actually have cooler weather today. It was a little rainy and I think peaked at 49. So the actual fall weather. And it's been so hot this year that the leaves have barely changed at all. Like most of the trees still have most of their leaves. It's kind of weird. But yeah, fall colors.
I actually have a friend who's up in Michigan right now. And they said that the leaves are actually changing up there. So it won't be too long. It won't be too far away. We're already getting snowstorms in the middle of the United States. So
yeah, good for them.
But I will say you brought up some good positives to living in Ohio. Like, I live in Texas. I have to shake my shoes out every day to make sure that there's not something in them.
You have to have working air conditioner in your car.
I don't want to talk about that. If nobody knows, I just fixed my air conditioner myself. And now it's a crapshoot on whether you get 210 degrees blowing out of it or 32 degrees blowing out of it.
A little PTSD there about your fixer-upper abilities, huh?
I do believe I installed my blend door motors the wrong way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the thing is that it's about an 8-hour job to take the dashboard out to get to them. So I'm kind of living with it.
Because at least it's getting to be, a little cooler in Texas. It's only 85. It's bearable. The dry heat.
I have I have some stuff coming up, and it's looking like I'm in the middle of a legal process right now, but I'm probably gonna get paid out a fair chunk of change, like $50,000.
Good Lord.
And I sat back and I was like, there's two things that I'm going to buy. One is a new car, and two is a used RV. So if the pandemic comes again and I have to quit working, I can hop in my RV and go park it in front of Burke's house.
Now, you do realize this is like the worst, and I mean the worst year ever to buy a car, right?
That is why I will purchase a used vehicle.
Oh, and let me reiterate. Let me rephrase that. This is a bad time to buy a new car. This is the absolutely freaking worst time to buy a used car.
Well, I actually have found a couple of cars under 100,000 miles for about $4,000. You have to remember, down here in the South, cars don't rust out. So you can get yourself a 2008,
I was going to say, do they still, are they running on leaded gasoline or steam at that point?
No, actually, what I found was a 2008 Mini convertible for $4,000. It has 80,000 miles on it.
You and your tiny ass convertible. You remember the VW convertible you had?
Mm-hmm. I loved that car. That was actually
Rabbit convertible.
That was my sister's car, and I just borrowed it a lot, but I abused the hell out of it too. Now that I think about it, almost every car my sister had, I abused. She had a Wrangler Sahara.
Oh, that's a cool car
that she bought, and she bought it brand new.
You drove me in that car through the backyard of Bob's house.
Yes. So you saw the abuse.
Yeah. Witnessed it firsthand. Good thing I have my seatbelt on.
I'm trying to remember. Were you with me when we went over to the University of Akron parking lots with it and I bounced over the curbs?
No, I only remember that one drive, and yeah, but that was it. That was good enough for me.
Then she let me use it down in Columbus. My brother lived down in Columbus, and I was home from the Navy for something, and she, man, my nose is itching like crazy. I gotta quit doing that cocaine.
Devil's dandruff.
So my sister loaned me the car so that I could go to McDonald's. I go through the drive-thru and I'm like, okay, come back around. It's snowing. There's about 2 feet of snow on the ground, so you can't really see anything. And I pulled up to what I thought was just grass. And I was like, okay, with all the traffic out on that road, I'm going to go cut through the grass here. I've got 4-wheel drive. I'll be fine. We'll cut through the grass, get onto the road over there, and we'll go back to my brother's house after McDonald's.
Sounds like a plan.
I get up over the curb and everything is going kosher. And all of a sudden, the Jeep does a straight nosedive. Apparently, there was a ravine there that was full of snow. And you weren't there, but I know my friend Scott Tillman was there. And Scotty was just like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I'm like, don't worry, man, it's a Jeep.
And it's not mine. What?
4-wheel drive low. 15 minutes later, we're out of there.
The shortcut that took longer than.
And then, of course, my sister was wondering why McDonald's was cold.
Traffic was horrible.
Oh my gosh. So anyways, yeah, getting a new car, a number one, getting an RV, a number two, because then like trade shows and different stuff that I do, I
be much more comfortable. Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
Not just more comfortable. I can get a slot for an RV for $45 a night out in Las Vegas, where I just spent almost $200 a night for a hotel room for the convention I'm going to in November. So yeah, I would really like to start saving money now. And plus it could be, I mean, I'd be comfortable in it. You know, I would get that memory foam mattress that I want.
Oh yeah.
I would sleep the same way every night, which would be great. Because right now, you know, one day I'm on the couch, the next week I'm in a hotel. And I'll tell you what, when I sleep in a hotel, I don't want to wake up. Oh no, there's just something about it really quiet and yeah. This is Scoot from the Cleveland Sports Fan Network, here to tell you about our new lineup for the rest of 2021 and beyond. We still have your favorites like Oshimida and the Fan on Mondays, our flagship show, the Cleveland Sports Fan, on Tuesdays. Wednesday has the Burley Gunner Show. Thursday is the Four Chubs, a roundtable show hosted by Burley Gunner. And on Friday, Pit Road News, a NASCAR, F1, and IndyCar talk show hosted by Scoot, the Cleveland sports fan himself. New episodes every day at 6 a.m. Eastern. Visit us at redcircle.com/Cleveland-sport-fan. So anyways, we got some trivia that we have.
Little
here.
known facts, trivia, weird ass stuff.
Where are you going to start us off?
I don't know. How about Akron was the first city ever to use a police car? Yeah, probably Cuyahoga Falls. No, our luck. We have the largest Amish population of any other state.
Including Pennsylvania?
Apparently so.
Huh.
The first full-time automobile service station ever opened up in Ohio in 1899.
This all does kind of make sense since tires are made here and cars are made right across the border.
Well, there's actually, and another one, there was a car company. Where is this one at? Hinton, I believe, was the name of it. Yes.
That was based out of Akron, wasn't it?
Not quite sure. Winton, excuse me. 1903, the Winton automobile was manufactured in Ohio, and Alexander Winton, it was Cleveland.
It was Cleveland.
Become interested in design. He made bicycles, interested in designing automobiles, and built his first one in 1896. He was the first person to do a cross country in an automobile. It was him and his mechanic that he took with him, oddly enough. And to kind of round out the whole automobile thing, the world's first speeding ticket, 1904, Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, yes, that excites me.
And the world's first automobile accident in Ohio City in 1891.
So Ohio started it all.
Yeah. That's why the cops are always so bad here. They started young. All right, on to some bizarre stuff here. The heart of it all is an Ohio slogan, but it's not just a slogan. Columbus is actually located within 500 miles of 48% of the U.S. population. So you draw a 500-mile circle around Columbus, you get almost half the country right there.
Wow.
Interesting stuff. Apparently, we've had a lot of inventions here. Harry Stevens of Niles, Ohio, credited with inventing the hot dog, baseball scorecards, and drinking straws. There's also Mench's brother, which I don't have on my list. They claim to have invented the hamburger, caramel corn, and I want to say the ice cream cone. And these were all, two of those things happened at the World Fair, apparently. Like they were selling sausage sandwiches, ran out. It was summer. The butchers would not kill any more hogs because I guess killing hogs in summertime is really stinky. But they had burger. So, and then they had cups for their ice cream, paper cups or whatever. Then they ran out, and next door to them was one of those, the waffle people, those real thin waffles that they make,
Yeah.
And they curled them up, put ice cream in them. So, yes, hi there.
Who are you talking to?
My wife is trying to steal her laptop, I believe.
Hello, Nancy.
She can't hear you. I'm on headsets.
That's good.
Scott says hi.
Yeah.
The amount of people born here was kind of staggering. I got down into the 400 and 500 range of a lot of sports people, obviously, but I kept scrolling through. I was like, oh my God, that person. Oh my God. Like two of the people from KRP in Cincinnati were born in Ohio. Just, stuff like that. Halle Berry was born in Ohio.
What was his name? Willard
Scott was born in Ohio.
Yeah.
Tim Conway was born in Ohio. Steven Spielberg was born in Ohio.
Arsenio Hall.
Paul Newman, Doris Day, Guy Fieri, the Wright brothers, Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl has
Of the Foo Fighters?
Of the Foo Fighters. He has an alley in his hometown named after him. And in that alley are the world's largest drumsticks that weigh half a ton each.
There's a street in Medina named after me. I bet you didn't know this. It's called Dipshit Drive.
I can only guess why.
Anyway.
Who else? Neil Armstrong, obviously. Luke Perry, Martin Sheen, Dean Martin, Chrissy Hine of the Pretenders, but I think we talked about that before.
John
Nichols,
Glenn.
Carmen Electra, Tracy Lords, Clancy Brown. Know that name? The voice of Mr. The voice of Mr. Krabs on SpongeBob. Also, Shawshank Redemption, the bad guy in the movie there. The not the warden, but the guy who shoots the guy at the end there.
Okay.
Annie Oakley, Wes Craven, Nancy Cartwright, who is the voice of Bart Simpson. Alan Ruck, who I believe was Cameron in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Terry Garr. Boz Skaggs.
Wow.
Oh, I know, right? Like whenever we were fixing cars, it was always Boz Skaggs. No, not born, but yeah, he lived in. He went to Kent State. Apparently, was actually at the Kent State massacre when it happened. Yeah, and everyone that lives in Kent has got a story about seeing Joe Walsh in the Kent bars playing guitar.
Now,
Which I'm not one of them, unfortunately, but
one of the uh, stats that you haven't said yet that I think you need to say is how many presidents came from Ohio?
born in Ohio, I want to say we tie with Virginia with 8. And actually, I believe we have 9 first ladies, which is one behind Virginia, if I recall.
We have 8 presidents: William Howard Taft, William McKinley,
Which the McKinley Monument is within 2 miles of my house.
yes, Benjamin Harrison, Rutherford B. Hayes.
Yes. Ulysses S. Grant is on that list, if I recall.
Yes, the star of the Civil War.
Yes.
Warren G. Harding,
Uh-huh.
William Henry Harrison,
Yep.
and James A. Garfield. And if anyone has been around Cleveland or the Cleveland/Cleveland Heights border, there is a cemetery there where John D. Rockefeller is buried.
Oh.
And there is a mausoleum for Garfield there.
No, wow.
And then to top that off, Marcus Alonzo Hanna is buried in it. And for those of you who don't know who Marcus Alonzo Hanna is, he was a politician in Cleveland who the Hanna Theater is named after.
Aha.
And
Of which I've worked at.
Very gorgeous theater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is drop dead gorgeous. So hang on. Oh man, that was cider.
Speaking of that theater, Playhouse Square in downtown Cleveland, second largest performing arts center in the United States, home to 10 theaters.
Yes. The only place that's bigger is?
I would have to probably guess and say New York, probably.
New York City.
Just there a couple years ago. Kind of amazing.
It's I do believe that Ohio is kind of a mecca for entertainment, a mecca for theater.
There's a lot of, community theaters. There's a lot of semi-professional theaters. There's obviously a lot of real theaters. Yeah, it's a great place to start, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here.
And just on a side note, the Cleveland Museum of Art is the substantial holdings Asian and Egyptian art permanent collection of 61,000 works from around the world in the 4th wealthiest art museum in the United States.
And which one is that?
The Cleveland Museum of Art,
which actually has a painting by my favorite painter of all times, Georgia O'Keeffe.
Oh, okay.
I guess I have 2 favorites because Vincent Van Gogh's my other favorite, but
believe Cleveland's got a Van Gogh, a Monet. I looked and I can't remember them all, but there were some big names in there.
Monet I was always kind of big on Monet because Monet used a lot of deep saturated colors, which went along very well with lighting.
Appeal to the lighting.
So
I guess the Cincinnati Art Museum holds 100,000 works spanning over 6,000 years of human history, being among the most comprehensive collections in the Midwest.
Mm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What do we have here? Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Rhythm and Blues Music Hall of Fame. Alan Freed was from Cleveland, who coined the term rock and roll. American Classical Music Hall of Fame is down in Cincinnati. Dean Martin, Doris Day, OJ's, Marilyn Manson, Devo, Isley Brothers, all from Ohio. Superman.
Yeah, Superman. I was never into Superman.
So do you know why the Michigan and Toledo and when Michigan and Ohio have the big football rivalry with it's all because of the Michigan Toledo War. There was a war between us and Michigan, and one person got injured in
and
that
we
whole
won.
Yeah, but Michigan got to become a state after that, so good for them. Good on them. And I guess one person, drunken guys would stand across the river and fire up in the air at each other, and I mean that kind of sounds like what they do today. But anyway,
All right. That okay. I think we need to delve into. Where is it? Right here. I'm gonna move you up here. All right, now we'll probably come back to trivia here and there. I sat back when you said that we were gonna do Ohio trivia and stuff like that. I sat back and kind of tried to gather a list of places that were one tank trips.
From what starting point?
I always base everything off of Medina, Akron area.
Fair enough. Okay. Now, tank meaning it takes one tank to get there, or you can get there and back in one. Let's be specific.
One tank to get there, one tank to get back.
Fair enough. That I could visit.
That's why you will.
I could visit 50% of the population at that point because I.
You will notice on this list that well, yeah, it's the thing about Ohio is that I can, if I have an Altima, I can get from Medina to Cincinnati.
Oh yeah.
I can get from Medina to Southeast Ohio. You can get to anywhere in Ohio with one tank.
I one time made it from Akron to Matthias, West Virginia on a tank of gas. And that's going through mountains.
Yeah. It's very possible that there may be one thing on this list that's not even in Ohio, but I have it on my one tank trip because it kind of ties in with the other segment that I'm doing. Do you need a break yet?
No, I'm okay for the moment.
You see, when you're not drinking,
it just screws the whole rhythm up of your pee breaks.
I don't know how to deal with this. All right, so we're going.
My bladder's confused. You son of a bitch.
We're going into our one tank trips, guys, and there's a certain one that when I get to it, I'm just going to save it for last. Here we go. Number one on my list of things to do in Ohio that's a one tank trip. Mohican State Park.
Oh God, yes. I used to go there. My mom, when I was very young, we would take off in January for my birthday and stay at the lodge for a couple of days, and I would spend $50 in quarters on the arcade machines in there, and they usually have somebody, they had a restaurant right there, usually somebody playing guitar and playing music and Yeah, good place. Have stayed in the cabins. Got that part of my finger cut
Chopped
off.
off.
I was 4.
Gotta love it.
Sliding glass door. I tried to stop with my hand. It just chopped the tip of my finger right off. Yeah, it's good times.
Mohican is fabulous year round. Like, you can go out there and hike during the wintertime. During the summer, you can do the canoe trips down the Mohican River. It's just a fabulous place to go to get away from the city.
Don't they have tree houses down there now?
Yeah, they do.
You can stay in. Yeah.
Yeah, you can stay in the tree houses down there. Now, that's not actually a part of the state park, but it is a part of the Mohican resort area.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
I've canoed down there. Good canoeing. Long ago, they had a pretty decent water park. Yeah, that's a good destination.
Number 2, Virginia Kendall Park. Now,
oh gosh, yeah.
This is actually in the Ohio Erie Canal Metro Park area. And it's also right next to Camp Manitowoc, which is the Boy Scout camp that I used to work at years and years and years ago.
Doesn't Virginia Kendall have some cool caves, as I recall?
There are ledges and caves for you to go through. And they have now opened up parts of the old canal to canoeing, which is the picture that Burke is looking at right now.
No, I'm looking at your desktop right now.
Oh. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I'm like seeing,
which is a very pretty picture of a bay. There's a pretty picture of a beach.
How's about now?
There we go. Oh, cool. Very cool. Yes.
And Virginia Kendall Park actually runs all the way from Brecksville down to Cuyahoga Falls. Man, I almost flubbed up on the Mohican River too. I thought I think we're supposed to call it the Mo Indigenous.
Hey, we had original Americans living here. Ohio is actually a name from them,
So yeah, it goes all the way from Cuyahoga County all the way down to Tuscarawas County.
Wow.
So it's actually going past you.
Yeah. That's you drive on 224, you drive right over it. Over by Manchester Road, and and then the canals were before the railroads, and was one of the reasons. Oh yeah, there it is right there. Pretty
There's
place.
The lodge.
Yep, pretty lodge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the canals made Ohio like the third most industrious state in the United States back in the early 1800s until the railroads started popping up, and then that kind of lost their luster.
Yes. So the next thing on the list is the Towpath Trail, which is a part of that Ohio Erie Canalway.
Doesn't that go through Massillon?
It does. It starts all the way up by Boston, Ohio, like Boston Mills.
Boston Mills and the ski resorts and everything.
Yeah. And it's 87 miles all the way down through the Erie Canalway.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a blast. I mean, all right, I'm gonna skip some here.
Okay.
And we are going to go to
Kings.
This is Scoot from the Cleveland Sports Fan Network, here to tell you about our new lineup for the rest of 2021 and beyond. We still have your favorites like Oshimida and the Fan on Mondays, our flagship show, the Cleveland Sports Fan, on Tuesdays. Wednesday has the Burley Gunner Show. Thursday is the Four Chubs, a roundtable show hosted by Burley Gunner. And on Friday, Pit Road News, a NASCAR, F1, and IndyCar talk show hosted by Scoot, the Cleveland sports fan himself. New episodes every day at 6 a.m. Eastern. Visit us at redcircle.com/Cleveland-sport-fan. The normal stuff that people should do if they come to Ohio. There's that one and that one.
I'm going to say Cedar Point. If you ever watch a show about roller coasters, every other roller coaster they mention is Cedar Point.
You know about Cedar Point, guys. Everyone knows about
Everybody.
Cedar Point.
The Kings Island
about Kings
back in the day.
Island. The thing about Kings Island. Hey, there is a reason to go to Cedar Point. Oh my God, they're loud. There is a reason for people to go to Cedar Point, and it is right there.
You're talking about Kings Island, not Cedar Point. Yes, the Beast.
That is, if you go to Kings Island for just one thing, this is it. That has to be the ultimate in wooden roller coasters. It's got its boring moments. I mean, there's a couple of places in this ride where you're just traveling for what seems like a mile straight, not doing anything. It's like, okay, what's going on? What are we doing? But when you go into the cornering and the two lift hill, oh, it's just one of my favorite roller coasters. Now, on the other hand, you have this bad boy here, which is Cedar Point, which has the most roller coasters. I think they're tied right now for the most roller coasters.
On and off, they've been like the most or the highest or the longest or the fastest, but there's always a better roller coaster the next year. So, but yeah, well, it's up there. It's definitely up there.
Yeah. So, I actually applied for a job there. So,
and
we'll see.
Oh, you're talking recently, not in your past. No, you're going to say, yeah, when I was a kid, I applied for a job and they turned me down.
Yeah.
Shocker.
No, they didn't turn me down, damn you. Man, I can't believe you.
I can't believe I would say that about you.
I know. All right, so another one tank trip, guys. There is a cheese factory in Ohio. Did you know this?
I was unaware of this.
It is the home of Baby Swiss cheese.
Oh, dude, you are talking my language. I love Baby Swiss cheese.
In the heart of Amish country in Ohio.
Where else would you find it?
Exactly. It's on.
Once again, we got a lot of Amish people here, right?
It's in Millersburg, Ohio. On State Route 557, and it's called Gugasburg. Award-winning Baby Swiss cheese. It has been the grand champion for years. Now, I, during the wintertime, order from them online and have it delivered. Of course, we all understand that you don't order something that's perishable during the summer in Texas because it's 110 degrees outside and FedEx does not refrigerate their trucks. This place is incredible, and they do cheese. They do cheese tours.
Oh.
They do cheese tours, and across the street is a traditional German restaurant where I had the best spatzel you'll ever have. Oh, it's fabulous.
What other goodies in Ohio have you discovered?
I really hate people.
Wright Patterson, is that on the list?
Hang on. Don't go there yet, because while you're at while you are at that Gugasburg cheese,
Yes.
Lehman's is right down the street from it. Lehman's is a very interesting store to shop at.
Is that the wood store?
It is.
If you, and I guess they will send stuff all over the place, but if you're into knife making or stuff like that, they have got all sorts of handle materials, and I've heard of this place, and it sounds incredible.
It is now the Lehman's, when they started this store, it was a cross between a store for normal everyday people, but it was also based for the Amish and the Mennonite communities to be able to shop there. So you can get anything. You can get refrigerators that run off of propane because you have no electricity. You can get a wood-fired stove.
Apparently, the picture there is showing like a million of them.
Yes. It's in Kidron, Ohio. And it is just one of the most fascinating stores I spent 4 hours there. I literally almost bought a wood-fired stove and have no place to put it. But he was a real good salesman.
Because what does everybody in Texas need?
A wood-fired stove.
You can put it in the RV, you know.
All right. Now we're gonna head down towards like the Dayton area.
All right.
What most people don't know, the Wright brothers actually started in Dayton.
Yes, that is correct.
Most people know them for Kitty Hawk, and if you ask a kid nowadays, who's 12 or 13, they look at you and go, "Who's the Wright brothers?"
Yes.
So this museum is kind of important for people to go and learn. Now, this is in an area called the Carilion Historical Park down in Dayton. It's an entire section of Dayton that they have transformed to kind of be an older, it's like it was back in the 1800s when,
like a historical district.
Yeah. I will honestly say you could probably spend 2 days in this museum and still not see everything. So Dayton being a 1-day trip or a 1-tank trip is fine, well and good. But if you're going to go to Dayton, Ohio, plan on spending about 4 days there, because there's 2 museums that you have to hit while you're there. There is the Dayton Wright Museum, and then there's the National Museum of the United States Air Force, which is now, I do believe, up to 8 hangars, 8 or 6. Good Lord. There is actually one hangar that everyone and their mother needs to go and see, and that's the presidential hangar. They actually cool. Have the
couple
plane,
Air Force Ones.
Well, they've got the plane that Kennedy was on. Yeah, they have a couple different planes.
The Valkyrie, which is outside, I believe.
That's outside. They also have what was that? The Columbine, the plane that not Truman. Who was Roosevelt? The one in the wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
Theodore. Is that right? Was it Theodore?
I believe.
Yeah, it's Theodore. Theater. Theater. They have his plane there as well. Anyways, it's a fabulous museum for anyone who is an aviation buff. As a matter of fact, the next time that I'm in Ohio, I'm going to drag Burke down there with me.
I have pictures that I took in 1975 of that museum. So I've been there, but it's been a long, long time.
Been a long time, been a long time, been a long, lonely, lonely, lonely.
I don't know where the other one is.
All right, hang on a second. We're going to have to take a break here because it's just getting way too loud here. Pause share. Stop share. Where's my...
They are. And we're back.
And we're back.
The wood store that I was thinking of is a place called Kime. Yes.
What town is it in?
I'm trying to find that out as we speak. All store hours. Apparently, there's a couple of them. Charm, Ohio.
Charm.
44645 is the area, is the zip code.
That's going to be close to Millersburg.
Considering there's also a Yoder Nylon Works and Yoder Lumber Company right nearby. Probably. Yep. Yeah. Oddly enough, it's off of Route 557.
Which is the same route that Gugasburg cheese is on. All right. The next one tank trip, and I don't know if you've been here yet or not. It's the National Museum of the Great Lakes.
I do not believe I have. No.
This is in Toledo. So when you go to visit your daughter, you can go see it. It's on Front Street. This is a very interesting museum. It talks about not only the maritime use of the Great Lakes and the ships that have wrecked and different stuff like that, but it also talks about the wars that were fought on the Great Lakes.
Interesting.
It's just a very, very interesting museum if you are into ships and especially Lake Erie.
Staying on Toledo for 2 seconds there. Remember the TV show MASH? Yes.
Toledo Mud Hens.
Well, Jamie Farr was actually born in Toledo and lived in Toledo, and every single place that he talked about was actually in Toledo. So it was all real places that they were talking about. And you talking to this guy that used to live in Toledo, it's like, oh yeah, I met Jamie Farr and started talking about all these places because I knew, it's like, oh yeah, I've been there. Yeah, we got to go over here. And yep, it's all real.
He actually, I think he still owns a restaurant there. But yeah, I actually know his daughter.
Oh wow!
I did a couple of shows with her.
Very nice.
Very, very nice. Yeah, she's a super sweet lady. All right, we're moving on now.
Alrighty then.
I'm so torn here. I'm gonna go to the Fila Cellars. Now, you are not far away from this. This is in Wadsworth.
Oh, that is very close.
And
what makes this place so awesome?
What makes this place so awesome is the owner is extremely good friends with one of the golfing buddies that I have back in Ohio. So yeah, and they have live music. I think it is on Fridays or Saturdays. I can't remember which. But Kathy has phoned me from Fila Cellars. They apparently have this wine slushy that is to die for. Yeah.
That does sound kind of tasty.
Yes, the next time I'm in Ohio, this is going to be a place that you and I are going. All right. So that is Fila Cellars in Wadsworth. Next on our one tank trips is one of my favorite places in Ohio to go. And that is Put-in Bay.
And I have a trivia piece about Put-in Bay.
I am ready for it.
At nearly 406 feet, the bar at the Beer Barrel Saloon in Put-in Bay on South Pass Island has been recognized by the Guinness as the world's longest permanent continuous bar. Put-in Bay has the biggest bar anywhere. Which is why probably you love Put-in Bay so much.
Wait, which bar was that?
The Beer Barrel Saloon.
The Beer Barrel Saloon.
There it is.
Home of the longest bar in the world.
See? Told you.
Now, we were down there, and I cannot remember the name of this bar, but there was a bar that we went to that had a pool in the backyard. I'm going to say this. Their insurance policy must be absolutely fabulous, because there was about 100 drunk, really fat dudes in this one pool. I was like, this is not conducive to safety, but it did look like a lot of fun. And I'll tell you what, great food. It is a great place to stay. If you have a boat on Lake Erie, it is worth the $75 a night to berth at Put-in Bay and go and party your ass off.
They have Pirate Fest up there every year, and my friends with the boat go up there and do Pirate Fest every year.
Pirate Fest is actually a blast. Yeah. There's actually a campground on the island. If you go over towards the, well, let's see if I can find a map of it. Let me go back to the.
Oh, and you've seen the house made out of the bow of a boat, right?
Yes.
That's
so
pretty cool.
So here's the picture of Perry's Monument right here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right over here, all of this land that's beyond it is campgrounds.
Oh, nice.
So if you have a trailer, you can go up there, park your trailer for the week. The Roundhouse Bar is another one of my favorites. It's
been there.
Actually, it's round. It has a dome. It is really cool. And you can sit on one side of the bar and look up and talk, and the guy all the way over on the other side of the bar can hear what you're saying. It's hilarious. It's just a lot. It's an adult's paradise. Oh, yeah. It is not for kids. Please don't take your kids there, because I get tired of hearing kids. Next, we're going to the last of my one tank trips, which actually leads us into the next segment as well. And This is Niagara Falls. It is 250 miles away from Medina.
It is worth going there at least once in your life. Absolutely.
It is worth going there more than once in your life. It is my favorite place to just go and chill. And this leads us into the next segment. I told Burke, I want you to sit back and think about the worst vehicle you have ever taken a road trip in, and the best vehicle you have ever taken a road trip in. And I came up with two. I came up with two cars that I have taken road trips in that were phenomenally bad. And then I came up with two vehicles. And Burke actually saw one of the vehicles that I owned at one point in time, but come up with two vehicles that were great for road trips.
Yeah, I forgot to think about this today, just so you know. Sorry about that.
That's okay. So I was in college, And this was 1989. It was 89. It was the end of 89, almost 1990. And we were doing a show for Varun Khanna. And the show was The Boys Next Door. There were there were 5 people that one night all of a sudden decided it was proper to drive from the University of Akron to Niagara Falls. Not just Niagara Falls, guys. We went to the Canadian side.
Back when you could easily.
Yes, we crossed that border. We went to the Skylon Hotel. It was an amazing trip, all except for one thing.
The car.
The car.
Was it American made?
It was not American made. It was a brand new car. It was a 1990. Remember, 5 people.
Was it Yugoslavian?
It was not Yugoslavia.
Oh, that would have been a great car for 5 people. A Yugo? Yeah, you got to really like those 5 people to drive to Niagara Falls. Good.
No, this car's even worse.
Oh, well, it's got to be British then.
I'm going to give you one more chance to take a guess.
How about
remember 1990?
How about a Volvo?
The answer would be
Damn.
Ladies and gentlemen.
A 1990 Honda CRX. Yes, you are correct. 5 people in that car. I have done 4. I did 4 in mine. Just the 4. 5 is right out.
Wait, there it is. Do you see this area right here?
Mm-hmm.
That's where Scott sat. This is Scoot from the Cleveland Sports Fan Network, here to tell you about our new lineup for the rest of 2021 and beyond. We still have your favorites like Oshimida and the Fan on Mondays, our flagship show, the Cleveland Sports Fan, on Tuesdays. Wednesday has the Burley Gunner Show. Thursday is the Four Chubs, a roundtable show hosted by Burley Gunner. And on Friday, Pit Road News, a NASCAR, F1, and IndyCar talk show hosted by Scoot, the Cleveland sports fan himself. New episodes every day at 6 a.m. Eastern. Visit us at redcircle.com/Cleveland-sport-fan. All the way to Niagara Falls.
I believe F that would be my response.
I think, now that I think about it, I think Devon went with us when we did this trip. I think it was Devon, Nicole Pezzi. Oh God, I can't remember who else it was. Man, Craig may have come with us. Now that I think about it. So yes, we had 5 people in a Honda CRX that has 2 seatbelts. No, people, it does not have 4 seatbelts. But the cool part about it was that the rear hatchback had this piece of glass in it, so that while we were driving and I was scrunched in the back, I could actually still see out and not be claustrophobic.
Oh yeah, right, kind of below the spoiler edge of the back deck lid there.
Oh yeah, baby.
See, now my car immediately after my second Triumph was the 87 CRX. So the previous body style to that.
Right. This was the first year that they came out with that with that glass in the rear. And I was happy for it because I get claustrophobic. So anyways, that was the first horror vehicle that I took a trip in. The second horror vehicle that I took a trip in, I drove from Cleveland, Ohio to LA with a co-pilot.
Smart move.
In this.
Oh.
All except for the fact that the one that I had was not a convertible.
Yeah.
So we were kind of stuck inside the I'm showing him a picture of a 1974 Corvette Stingray.
So just out of curiosity, how bad is the suspension in that car?
My ass hurt after the first hour.
How loud was that car?
What do you mean? There's no insulation in that bitch.
It's a plastic car.
and the one
and
that
everything rattled, didn't it?
The one that we were driving actually belonged to one of my brother's friends, and he had custom side pipes put on it.
Oh, yeah, because, it wasn't loud enough to begin with.
So as you're driving, the cherry bomb muffler that he has on it, which has nothing in it, is now being exhausted directly under the crack of your door. So all you hear the whole time is, and I mean, it's a V8. It's not a pretty sounding V8. It's just loud.
Especially when you're only hearing 4 of them because you're only getting the 4.
It's just loud. Okay. So I did say that I had a couple of vehicles that I thought were good vehicles to take on a trip. And one of them, Burke may remember, because I drove this car from Medina to Gettysburg. Look at that bad boy.
Yeah, you see that looks comfortable.
Go back there.
I'm sure you had to stop at every other gas station, but other than that,
that is the Oldsmobile 98 Regency, and I think I got 8 miles to the gallon in that thing.
I believe that was called a Brougham top. It was
so comfortable.
Well, yeah, they installed couches in the front.
So my dad bought this vehicle when he owned his company. He wanted a full-size vehicle that he could take clients to dinner or different things like that. So it's almost a limousine.
Yeah.
And when my father left for Australia, not Australia, that became basically my car. It had been broken into 4 times. You did not need a key to start it any longer. There was just this piece of metal that was sticking out that you pulled. But I think I hit probably 100 bumpers and a couple of those big yellow concrete things that light poles are on.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And that car never once got a dent in it. It was a beast, man. I'm telling you, had those suede seats in it that were extra, that were like a lazy boy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you sit down in it and you sink, and you're like, ooh. This is awfully comfortable. Yeah. That was a good trip. Gettysburg was a great trip. I have this funny feeling that I discarded my other one, but that's okay. My other one wasn't that good. Look at that. Screen sharing has stopped. So where are your favorite places to go in Ohio?
Oh, home. I love going home.
This
Become a homebody.
Burke is officially sounding like Carl now.
I enjoy going to Cleveland. Get to go every now and then if I'm driving people around. Some great Chinese places on the Near East Side there. Portage Lakes, not a bad little spot, you know.
Portage Lakes, one of my favorite places.
Yep.
I actually looked at buying a house out there.
I'd buy it near there, but not on the water because those were all old cottages and many of them were not very well insulated. So year-round stuff is kind of rough.
Yeah, I don't need anything special, Burke. I'm smart enough to know how to insulate something. I don't have a family, so. Anyways, was there anything else on your mind tonight?
I think that was about it. Sort of giving some viewers a little insight into why Ohio is cool.
Ohio is cool. Ohio has there's a lot of history in Ohio.
Well, you're looking at the Cuyahoga River right there that caught on fire back in 1969, and that was the reason that we have the Environmental Protection Agency today, is because of that river catching on fire.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
See,
useless information. That's what I'm full of.
What else came out of Cleveland but the FBI agent who went to Chicago to break up the mob?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
He was originally from Cleveland. And was a police officer in Cleveland for years.
No, that I did not know.
Before he moved to bigger and better things like what was his name? I want to say Bugsley Malone, but I cannot remember for the life of me the Elliot Ness was his name, and I can't remember who he was famous for arresting.
Drawing a blank. Also, everyone's going to look at us like we're idiots.
Yeah, well, I at least remembered his name.
We didn't even talk about WMMS or anything like that.
No, we didn't. But I think WMMS and music is going to be a different show altogether. I think we need to do a show just about the music scene.
Because deep dive on MMS.
Because there is a lot of history, everyone, in Cleveland, Ohio, as far as music goes. The Flats were a huge part of a lot of bands getting their start. Bands like Skid Row and who was Cherry Pie? Warrant. David Grohl, the Foo Fighters. These are all bands that started down at Shooters in the Flats, or they were at Nautica, or they were at what's the one that's across the Odeon. Music is a huge part of Cleveland's history. I think that could be one whole show on its own. I mean, we'll do the Cleveland music scene
as an entire show then.
That should be next week. I even have the entire catalog of Bruce Springsteen at the Agora in 1970. I want to say that was 78. Might have been 78 or 79. But yeah. That's that's people always sit and bitch about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame being in Cleveland, and the thing is that Cleveland was the one town in the 60s, the 70s, and even the 80s where your band had to make it or it wouldn't be famous.
Yeah, you could get discovered in Cleveland and get airplay almost instantly in Cleveland, and that's even Bowie became famous in America because of MMA. I mean, yeah. Well, anyway, we'll talk about that next week. Yeah. Because I mean that now you're getting into what I do for a living, and I'm telling you, I could go for hours about this. I'll go for possibly a two-parter.
I
never knows.
I will honestly go for an hour just on Michael Stanley Band alone. I can tell you every band that opened for him. Hey, that's just I have always loved rock and roll. That is where I've always loved working in this field. And you know, I went to theater for a while. I went to corporate gigs and all that. I have always loved the music scene. I don't know why. Even when I was in college, I told everyone I didn't want to be a theater designer. I wanted to be a rock and roll designer. And Paul Dahm kept looking at me like, well, what are you doing here? You don't need a degree for that. Just go do it. And then for Christ's sakes, I went and did ballet. The stupid weaves. All right. On that note, everyone, it was a great night.
Yes.
It was like an hour and 10 minutes. We went a long time, but you didn't take like 6 breaks like you normally do.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, that's okay.
The hour and 10 minutes took an hour and 10 minutes.
When we go and do the music thing next week, you have to be drinking.
Fair enough.
All right, brother. I'm out of here.
Yeah, have a good night, everyone. Have a great night.
Have a good one.
Everyone's talking about AI these days, right? This season on Compiler, we're diving deep into how AI is reshaping the world we live in. Join us for a new season of Compiler, an original podcast from Red Hat. Subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service, real-time updates only in iOS mobile apps. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.